Alarmed, Foxpaw urges you to take the codex page he was studying. You're not sure what this desolate place might be. Judging from the green population, it's probably somewhere. To your surprise, Calvin Riek allows you to take the codex page the Aurum had collected.
You're still hounding us? Then I need something bigger.
Are. At first, you think the librarian has been distracted by her deranged conversation with the codex. But then, a massive nightcrawler bursts out to attack you. You brace yourself for another attack. None comes. The librarian is now completely engrossed in her dialogue with the evil artifact.
No, that's 100 leagues away. Show me the pages near where I am. We haven't much time before he arrives.
You place the codex pages on the device. This immediately draws the librarian's attention.
What's that over there? More of your pages! Let me get them for you.
The dispelment field flickers to life as you pull the switch, breaking the codex's hold on the librarian. What am I doing out here?
Why isn't the codex in the library?
While this crisis is over, it's clear you'll need to find a permanent way to deal with the codex and its corrupting aura.
The Tower of Orion looms ahead, its polished white stone exterior gleaming in the night sky. Your informant, Alfred Rourke, waits for you before the stone gate. He silently beckons to you. Alfred says that the inkwell of Orion is locked up somewhere on the top floor of the tower. He advises you to stay out of sight of the guards while you search. Remaining hidden will make it easier to search for the inkwell. Climbing up above the guards will give you a place to hide. By using the checkpoints you will find up in the rafters, you can stay above and out of sight. A surly wizard guards the front entrance to the tower. She sizes you up. Sorry, members of the Esoteric Order of Orion only. You find a pipe at the base of this wall. The grate is locked tight. The woman shakes her head. Like I said, members only. Come back with with permission and I'll let you in. You'll have to find another way. You tug on the grate and it springs open, revealing a passageway inside. You step out of the pipe and into a kitchen in the basement. You find a room containing a service elevator leading to the upper level. The elevator takes you to a dark chamber full of machinery, likely in the back hall of the upper floor. To one side, you spot a small door through which you can hear the low rumble of voices. But first things first, find a way to avoid confrontation. You open this grate into a cramped vent. You emerge from the vent and find yourself above a large room decorated as an office space. You rattle the grate to no avail. Judging by the keyhole in its side, you'll need to find a key to get inside. The security construct flashes and a booming alarm rings out. Intruders, deploying reinforcements. You hear muffled voices as more guards teleport into the surrounding rooms. Spy a small vent in the wall above the lounge, marked with a large purple crystal. Your eyes follow the pillars flanking the walls upward and find a small vent fixed into the stone. A murmur of voices rises from further down the hall. The configuration of light beams blocks your path. They hum with magical energy. Silver key atop this dusty cabinet. The metal grate creaks open as you slide the key into its lock. Of magic energy. At its base is a dim purple crystal, matching the crystal marking the vent in the lounge. Two other levers are fixed against the back wall. The glowing tiles dim, unlocking the red lever. The beam of light from the mirror strikes its target, unlocking the blue lever. The light beams guarding the lever sputter to a stop. The purple crystal on the pedestal lights up, signaling that the vent in the lounge has been opened. vent and find yourself in the back halls of the tower's upper floor. The door leads to a room littered with open books and alchemical tools. Evidence of the mage's experiments line the walls. Inside this room, you see more tools for the mage's experiments. Skittering cranium rats leaps from the shadows. The last of the cranium rats twitches, falls still. You pull this lever and hear a door running open in the distance. Leading up to the top floor. The Inkwell of Orion must be somewhere up above. You exit the elevator to the top floor of the tower. The Inkwell of Orion must be close by.
Another ally gone too soon.
Various antiquities and powerful magical artifacts are stored inside this room. Yet the Inkwell of Orion does not seem to be here with them. Before you stands a group of hidden hand cultists. Searching for the Inkwell's wealth, they spring to attack. The last path ups at your feet. You open the door to find a mass of scarlet light beams that divide the room into a maze.
They died with honor. battle, we'll honor the fallen latest! Another ally gone to sea.
You see a large ritual circle on the floor and a barrier of light beams. Beyond stands your final goal, the inkwell of Orion. A voice rings out as you step over the threshold and into this chamber. Scanning. Unauthorized personnel detected. Commence final defense. You hear a low rumble as something teleports into the room. The mages have summoned a horde of demons, and they are out for blood.
He's on the battle, we'll honor the fallen later!
More enemies materialize before your eyes. Rock and its companions fall to the ground and turn to ash. With the Guardians gone, the final barrier blocking the inkwell sputters out. Your path is clear at last. You carefully tuck the inkwell of Orion into your pack. Now to escape the tower before anyone notices its absence. You emerge from the tower into the fresh night air.
Anything that would help with
Inkwell in
slaying a
hand,
giant.
You're ready to return to Morgrave University and deal with the Codex once and for all.
We've traveled down to the foundations of Morgrave University's tower to deal with the Codex of Infinite Planes. Plan to use the Inkwell of Orion to erase the artifact's evil intelligence. You apply the magical ink to the Codex. Massive dome suddenly begins to shudder and shake. Then the book settles into an eerie silence. But before you can congratulate yourself on your success, a chilling laugh fills the room. Vecna has arrived. The Codex. There was always something calling to me in this world. And now it is within my grasp. Thank you, hero, for leading me to it. Its power is exactly what I require. Even rob the Codex of its troublesome sentience, so it can no longer resist or evade me. In return for this service, I offer some advice. Flee this tower immediately. My underlings are conducting a ritual that will bring it crumbling to the ground within minutes. Think of Morgrave's destruction as a message to this arrogant city. Vecna has arrived. The Codex vanishes. The ethereal form of Vecna remains. Curious to see how you react. The answer is obvious. Countless people in the University Tower will die if you don't act now. Must stop the ritual. Sulfur stench fills the air. A massive demon steps through the door. Pharaoh eyes you skeptically.
Wait! I have more pressing business above. Minions, deal with this!
Portal blocking your path and bearing us away. Access to the lower university stairway. A voice magically whispers in your ear. There are students unaccounted for in the evacuation. If you find them, materializes, releasing a swarm of threats. Last threat toppled. Baylor addresses the Archmage conducting the ritual.
Complete the ritual. Have your underlings deal with these fools. I must see to our other undead fighters.
Then a massive crash rocks the tower, followed by a monstrous roar. Still the Baylor to contend with. To your surprise, Baylor is locked in combat with a large red dragon. Unable to defeat the dragon, Baylor teleports away. The dragon looks rather pleased with itself. You suddenly realize it's wearing a familiar green hat. Dragon turns out to be the trickster god, the Traveler. He congratulates you on saving Morgrave, and invites you to help him defeat Vecna.
Ahead, you see your sometimes ally, Doris, now a war-forged titan. She's attended by some blade-forged and a large iron defender. Clearly, she has risen in the ranks since coming to the Mournlands to follow the Lord of Blades. Doris has arranged an audience with the Lord of Blades for you, but in exchange, she's tasked you with training one of their recently uncovered weapons from the last war. You need to take the Iron Defender out. The Blade Hound in training stretches and lets out a metallic yip. He's all ready to go. You step out of the dimension door and into the desolate landscape of the glass plateau. Shining obsidian everywhere you look. From the grounds beneath your feet to spires that jut into the sky. Not 891 fidgets with these weapons in the sight. The Iron Defender is eager to begin its daily training of the planes. A horde of undead creatures stands frozen. It's as if they're locked in a memory.
Raise on the battle, we'll honor the fallen later.
A rush of cold air sends a chill down your spine. Wind whistles as it rushes past. Army of spectres emerges from beneath the glass that covers their final battle. Vanishes into the fog. you are bombarded by waves of heat. They billow from the lava pools, dotting this clearing. A cluster of floating stones hovers above a circle of lava. The last stone glows as it hovers into place, opening a passage to the west.
Another ally.
You see a gigantic figure, formed out of molten glass, standing atop an island in the pool of lava. When it notices you, the massive form lunges forward. And disappears. You find yourself back at the dimension door where you first. You're ready to return to the Lord of Blades camp with a satisfied Iron Defender in tow. You return the Iron Defender to Doris after a successful day training on the glass plateau. Doris grunts in approval. I guess your meaty little brain was good enough for something as simple as this. She opens a portal to the Lord of Blades' current location. I've kept up my end of the bargain, but it's not my fault if he obliterates you for daring to impose. Until we meet again, fleshy. Rumbling chants can be heard issuing from further down this barren canyon. It's likely the Lord of Blades soldiers, training. An army of the Lord of Blades soldiers bows under the scorching sun. The Lord of Blades himself presides over them, standing before a metal throne. The Lord of Blades tells you that a group of flesh raiders have broken into an abandoned manufacturing yard. He asks you to stop them from plundering what the Warforged consider one of their servants. The Warforged renegade speaks in a steely, imposing,
Have the impudence to walk in our sacred halls. Though that factory has fallen to ruin, whatever is inside belongs to the Warforged alone.
He directs you towards your destination, a corridor to the west. The inside of this manufacturer smells of something else than the grease and defunct machine. You immediately spot the intruders, a squad of hidden-hand thieves who have come to uncover the facility's secrets. More hidden hand cultists wait in this room. They scavenge for the room. Iron Defender collapses in disrepair. No doubt the Lord of Blade soldiers will retreat once all the cultists have been cleared out. You find a locked door. It seems to require a spoken passcode to open. Stationary gears line the walls of this chamber. You see the plaque containing the door's password in the far back, blocked by a magic barrier. The first set of wheels clicks into place. The second set of wheels clicks into place. You found the passcode that opens the door in the hall. The door grows. You enter the room, only to find another group of hidden hand disciples huddled in the dark. They stand in front of what appears to be long-lost weapons. One of the cultists calls out as you approach. Ha! Son! Another fool seeks the secrets of this metal code. We've already banned its way and crime. This manufactures hidden weapons. At their command, the machines roar them up. Long-abandoned weapons, or inert ones. With the threat subdued and the hidden hand intruders dealt with, you may return to the Lord of Blades to receive what you are owed. The Lord of Blades raises his fist and declares,
When my strength has been made, when the time comes, I will render my aid against this intruder god. Yet your destiny until then lies squarely on your own shoulders.
You have struck a deal with the Lord of Blades. Now to return to Moorgrave and continue your preparations against Vecna.
Good, but there are yet more giants to count.
figure in a familiar hat stands next to a nondescript door. He gestures for you to join him. The Traveler requests that you speak to Lady Ilmero's assistant, while they speak to Lady Ilmero in private. The assistant tells you that you may join Lady Ilmero in the office. As you enter the office, you see the Traveler having a conversation with a shadowy form. This must be Lady Ilmero. She glares at you as you approach. The unexpected sound of shouts comes from the room you were just in. Intruders! To your amazement, Lady Ilmero emits a burst of deadly magic that cuts down the intruders. Her shape changes. How dare they enter here? How dare they make demands of me? Let this be a warning to all who follow this insolent new god. This is no ordinary elf woman. This is the legendary lich, Lady Vol. Take this portal. It will bring you closer to the vessel. Know that it will take belief to bypass its wards and claim it for yourself. You emerge from the portal and find yourself in a narrow maze of alleyways somewhere in the Greywall district. This gate is securely fastened from the other side, but the nearby walls and floor are riddled with cracks. Maybe you can find a way in and around. The pavement beneath you cracks, and then gives way. You've stumbled into the sewers, and into someone else's territory, where rats hiss curses at you for invading their sewers. Members of the Hidden Hand are trying to make their way past the wards on the nearby door. Without success. As you finish your battle with the Hidden Hand, the sound of footsteps can be heard nearby. A figure in a very familiar hat has arrived. Traveler disables the portal. The door opens, revealing a warehouse decorated with large bags. You've arrived at the Emerald Portal, in the heart of the city. A large gate bars access to the heart of the Emerald Claw complex.
They died with honor.
The third crystal lights, and the large metal portcullis opens. The vessel is almost within your grasp, but then its guardian springs into action. Now that the guardian has been defeated, you can at last ride in the vessel. As you take hold of the vessel, Lady Vol's voice fills the room.
As you can see, faith in yourself can be a powerful thing. I will help you in what is to come. Though in truth, the power comes from within.
Lady Vol addresses you.
You have obtained the vessel, keeping it out of the hands of the foul interloper. I wish you the best of luck in your attempts to thwart the Whispered One.
Priestess Valeria tells you to undergo the trials of the Dark Six. Return to the center of the Hall of the Traveler once you have succeeded. A mummy raises its crumbling arm. You realize it wants to speak with you. The mummy says you should deal with the 4 uncontrolled undead within the Chamber of the People as you see fit. The mummy nods in approval after you finish his requested task. You've completed the trial of the king. Enter the Chamber of the Fury, and a voice booms out.
Let the grand melee begin!
Cheering combatants leap from the stands and begin brawling. Three final and quite confident competitors bent on battle. Only silence remains. You have completed the trial of the Fury. Past the wall of water, you spy several samurai in their training. The trial of the devoured. spellcaster. This way. The captain chortles as you approach. He gestures for his minions to attack. Captain kneels in defeat, indicating that the trial of the Devourer is complete. The conch of secrets emits a deep, echoing laugh, as the sound of rushing water comes from the center of the room. You are under attack. A telltale sound echoes from the chamber of the shadow. Traps! The trial has already begun. Disappears, and a ladder forms out of glowing green energy. The flayed monk seems to grin as you climb onto his platform. He begins his feeling in defeat. The flayed monk nods solemnly at you. You have completed the trial of the monk. Of magical incantations, bubbling potions, and whirring machines fill this space. A distracted looking man enters the room, slowly to step up. The movement that lets you decide whether to challenge her directly or to seek aid from her assistants. The gnome nods, then she barks an order, and the golem next to her rises. The trial of the shadow has begun. With the golem's instructions, the wizard defeated, you completed the trial of the shadow. You completed the required a voice moves out throughout the city.
Return to the center of the hall, traveler, for your final trial.
Standing among the statues in the hall of the traveler, you were surprised that they suddenly silence falls over the hall of the traveler when the final doppelganger is defeated. You should speak with High Priestess Valera once more. You have completed the trials of the Dark City, earning the blessings of those sinister gods in your fight against the intruder Vecna.
Out of the portal, into a small hidden cavern in Shavarath, the plane of battle. You've come to enlist an unlikely pair of allies, the Archons and their sworn enemies, the Devils. The Archon and Devil commanders agree on one thing. They'll only help you if you help them against their common enemy, the demons. Now, to clear out the demon-infested bases they've described, the wreckage of countless battles chokes the entrance to this infernal fortress. Rumbling growls echo down the passage. With a fury that belies their small size, wretches throw themselves into battle. A blast of freezing air announces the presence of a massive ice quake. The ice blender topples to the floor. The Marilith draws her blades across one another dramatically, then slithers forward to attack.
Another ally going to see.
Dying Marilith rasps out. You can stop our master's plans. Shiver. will be ours. With the death of their commander, the demons in this keep have been routed. Now to deal with the Archon's lost fortress. You've arrived at the Archon's fortress, now overrun with demons. Judging from the damage, the Celestials did not give it up easily. Charges forward. The nightmare collapses, and a new passage opens up in the world. Looked up and confused. Mortals. Sending mortals now? This should be entertaining. Render forward, babbling about its master's plans to use codex pages to conquer Shabaran. Both abyssal commanders refer to a master. Perhaps this portal will lead you to them. You're somewhere in the ruined demon lands of massive demon looks down on you with seething disdain.
Are you the mortals disrupting my plan? Do you really think you can stop me? A conquering You're strong. The armies of the Abyss will be at my call. With the pages that venture this promised me, the demons will be my
The demon cannot comprehend its defeat.
No, the pages. If pages.
With the demon's plans thwarted and the fortresses reclaimed,
A new
time to
challenge.
report your success
For fuck.
to the celestial
When
and
this
infernal commanders. With the oaths of both the devils and the Archon secured, it's time to return to Eberron.
The scout says that the United Forces' assault on the Hidden Hands headquarters is already underway. You can take advantage of your allies' attack to carve your way through the enemy base. The Hidden Hand cultists have locked down their fortress to help them battle the invaders. You want to make your way further inside. Your allies battle the cultists beyond this lockdown. You can't see a way open, so perhaps you should explore further. the lever that opens the way leading deeper into the complex. Job of keeping the hidden hand visible from this lever is guarded. You'll need to defeat the Eye of to be the cult's leader, conducting some kind of ritual. The heart of Vecna orders his minions to attack. These include the eye and hand of Vecna.
too soon.
You've defeated the resurrected Hand and Eye. Again. This leaves only the cult's leader, the Heart of Vecna. Unfortunately, the Heart has sealed himself behind a magical barrier. We'll need to find a way to get out. The secret door slides open in the eastern wall. This must be before the Vecna turns, surprised to see that you've found a way to reach him. Completely routed. Now to find the information you came for. Where is Vecna? You find the answer in the heart of Vecna's desk. Vecna has traveled to a fortress in the astral plane to conduct a ritual. A ritual that will give him dominion over all of Eberron.
The traveler explains that this fortress is a trap he built for invading gods. He asks you to sabotage Vecna's ritual by pulling special levers inside. Of course, only those worthy of representing the traveler will be able to pass the trickster god's trials and pull the levers. Clearly, Vecna and his followers have been inside the ritual, and the god of secrets has brought more than just a hidden hand. Asks you to choose between the path of struggle or the path of snare. You have chosen the path.
Eyes on the battle! We'll honor the fallen later!
The traveler says that you will need to draw upon the power within for this task. Life power flows into the lever as you pull it. A bit of your life power flows into the lever. traveler gives you some unhelpful advice about enduring life's battle. You've pulled all the Traveler's levers. Now to see what effect this had on Vecna's ritual.
Yeah!
Eyes on the battle! We'll honor the fallen later! This adventure took a left turn. Not again! And you're good? Time for a cup, eh?
The energy produced by 4 of the planar eyes has changed. altering Vecna's ritual at a fundamental level. Vecna thought he was creating a net to ensnare Eberron and its planes. But, thanks to the Traveler's trickery and your own deeds, that net has ensnared him instead. Whispered One struggles unsuccessfully to manifest himself inside the fortress.
What have you done, mortal? How is it that you are able to oppose me? You must be punished for this defiance. And if I cannot do it myself, well, my hand has many fingers.
At their master's command, Vecna's followers spring to the attack.
He's on the battle! We'll honor the fallen later!
Vecna cries out in anger as the last of his followers falls.
How is it possible you have ruined my plan? This is beyond the powers of an insignificant speck. You're clearly not intelligent enough to create such a scheme.
A soaring figure appears, wearing a familiar hat. Oh, you're not in a position to criticize, Lich, given how recklessly you blundered into my trap. When the Codex was destroyed, it broke the barrier that hid Eberron from the worlds beyond. I could see what would happen next. So, I created the planar eyes as bait, and had this fortress built as a trap. A trap for gods. And, sure enough, a greedy god came along. An intruder who was so sure that Eberron was helpless and ripe for the picking. All it took was a brave soul to help me spring the trap I had prepared. Now, return to your own domain and tell others of your kind. Eberron has its own gods. It does not need you. The Traveler turns to you, gives you a grateful nod, and vanishes. Vecna gives one last shout of incoherent rage, and then disappears. Thanks to you, the Codex has a secure holding place, and the Whispered One has been expelled from Eberron and its 13 planes. Yet, there are many more planes. Infinite planes. Who can say where or when you meet the God of Secrets again?
As you walk into the dormitory hallway, you notice two students by Aaron's door. They're discussing something in worried tones. Aaron's friends are very concerned. They tell you that Aaron is in their dorm and ask you to check up to see how they're doing. Aaron is barely able to stay awake. They've been up all night studying for an exam. Now they're afraid of nightmares about failing. You offer to go into their dreams and ease their anxieties. Aaron's dream resembles a classroom. A completely topsy-turvy classroom. Aaron frantically scans the area for an unknown danger. 4 figures suddenly appear before you. They glare menacingly, and Aaron cowers in response. Rest and prepare for the next onslaught.
Another ally loyalty. With honor.
But you get an ominous feeling that something big is coming. Now would be a good time to rest and prepare. A huge gnome appears before you, looking down at you with disappointment. Well. Look at that, Aaron. You failed your exam, just as I expected. The figure chuckles. Why don't you just give me all your knowledge? It's not like you're using it anyway. The gnome turns into a notebook. Disappears into the dreamscape with a final screech. Aaron should be able to rest easy now. Aaron thanks you profusely for your help and promises to get some sleep before the exam.
Several students still linger here, though classes have been over for hours. Holtz has invited you to a party in the next room. You've arrived at Holtz's party to find an empty room, except for your host. Clearly, Holtz doesn't know how to throw a real party. He asks you to speak with Ariana to pick up some tips. A magic mouth calls out, "Intruder, activate security system." Some of the decorative weapons that line the wall animate and detect.
Thanks for the sharp
Ariana
swing.
is an
That's where
expert
we
party
sit.
planner. She tells you to find 3 items that will make Holtz's party amazing. The Globe of Light, Arcanist's Delight in the kitchen, and a magic loot. You can tell by the smell and goods that this is the kitchen. You spot the Arcanist's Delight, but before you can reach it, a nearby tray of pies animates and attacks. The last pie falls to the ground with a soft squish. The smell of the freshly baked Arcanist's Delight makes your mouth water. This cake will definitely make better party food than Holtz's paltry plate of vegetables. Students are working with iron defenders in this classroom. When you enter the room, they lift up with a shocked expression and send the iron defenders after them. As the last iron defender falls to the ground, one of the artificers gasps in recognition. The student apologizes for sending their iron defenders to attack. They thought you were an intruder. They say you can borrow the Globe of Light, as long as you promise to return it. The Globe of Light glitters in your hand as you take it from its place. Ariana was talking about. Oh, these aren't just penny bars. They're barbarians. They're even non-barbarians. There you are. Let the sparring begin. Barbarian leader finally yields. He beckons you to speak to him. The barbarians thought you were the guest they were expecting to spar with them in a practice fight. Valencia points you to the magic loot, but warns that only a skilled bard should play it. You wonder if something strange might happen when you pick up the loot, but nothing does. You don't know what's worrying Valencia. This seems to be an ordinary loot. Now that you've found all 3 party items, Ariana can help Holtz save his party. She says that she'll meet you there, but suggests that more guests and decorations could elevate the party from good to amazing. Before anyone can stop him, Holtz picks up the loot and plays a few notes. A Vrock appears before you.
Boom! Only a skilled bard can play that note without summoning me!
The Vrock falls, and the students at the party clap and cheer. Your monster fight turned out to be the perfect kickoff to Holtz's party. You've taken Holtz's party from a failure to a rager. All's well that ends well, so long as he stays away from magic instruments.
into the side entryway, one of the devils in the room calls out, "Intruders! Lock the doors, like you should have before!" You'll have to fight your way to the contract now.
Eyes on the battle! We'll honor the fallen later! Too soon.
The records room is filled with thousands of rules, but you have no way to know which one one of the clerks has a logbook or an index on it. You walk in through the front door of the Devil's Road. Ready to go. You find yourself in a quiet, mostly empty room. You can just barely hear a muffled voice from the floor below say, "For the last time, lock the side door."
With honor.
Searching the fallen orphan, you find a logbook and the master key for the records room. You quickly thumb through the pages of the logbook and learn that Calliope's contract is held in drawer 10,451. You find Calliope's soul contract in among the countless piles of paper in this records room. Now to bring it back. Maybe you should also take their magical quill while you're here, so the devils can no longer do this to anyone else. angry lone broker stands between you and the exit. As a wry smile curls across her face, you realize you're going to have to defeat her in order to escape with the contract. How about you, the Aurelian's cause? Begin. Regret this. Penalties apply. Groans the loan broker as she falls. Now you can return the student loan contract to Calliope. Calliope is delighted to have her contract back. The agreement states that whoever holds the contract owns Calliope's soul. So she is now forever free from the devil's schemes. Books and papers are scattered everywhere. The scholar wants you to recover his stolen manuscript. Perhaps you can pick up the trail of the thief. This is a page from the missing manuscript. The thief must have dropped it when they fled. Judging from the smell, you found your way into Charles' ruin. Aware of it. Now the question is, where did they come from?
He's on the battle! We'll honor the fallen later!
nearby doesn't jump up and attack. The Whereat gang leader says he sold the manuscript to the Hidden Hand, who are still nearby. He gives you a key that he says will open a door, marked with a rune. It looks like the Hidden Hand left behind some especially tough guards to keep an eye on the Whereats. You find an odd note addressed to you. It says something about a dog eating your homework. It is signed, You Know Who. This must be the Hidden Hand member who ordered the theft of the missing manuscript. The Hidden Hand contact gave the stolen manuscript to a messenger wearing a green hat. When she realizes the messenger wasn't what they seemed, she rushes off to find them. The courtyard is filled with Moorgrave University students holding an impromptu celebration. Every single one of them is wearing a green hat. You find the missing manuscript inside a green-hatted iron defender. It seems the Traveler gave you a helping hand. Was this just one of the Trickster God's pranks? Or part of some larger plan? Either way, the scholar will be happy to learn his dissertation is safe once more.
Aye, good. But there are yet more giants to kill.